We all know that in order to live life in the sweet zone of maximum health, it's important to not only eat nutritional foods, but to also exercise those muscles. One thing that I've learned throughout my life is not only is it important to exercise your body, but it's also essential to exercise your brain for various reasons, especially if you want to live life as a writer, as a speaker, anything to do with the creative mindset. Once I decided to move forward with my dream about being an author and a motivational speaker, I found it daunting to come up with ideas that I was excited about. I knew I had it in me, but I just couldn't find the wow button. That's when I decided to start working at my craft. Ironically, around the same time, I came across this book, Children's Writer's Notebook. And in this book, there is a overview of 20 authors, and there are 70 exercises. Exercises for your brain. It's quite an ingenious book, really. A perfect journal for writers of fiction for young people, featuring 20 important writers from the past 150 years. Some activities include making memorable rhymes, creating curious characters, producing witty dialogue that moves a story forward, imagining and describing fantastical landscapes, and of course, developing suspenseful action sequences. This book is the perfect tool for up and coming writers. This is the time to exercise that mind and move your creativity forward. Let's get started. How about with something fun? Not necessarily easy, but fun. Lesson 1, Dr. Seuss. Even if you're not into poetry, I encourage you to complete this lesson. Sometimes it's when we try something different that we usually wouldn't, we can discover an extraordinary talent. Theodore Seuss Geisel was born March 2nd, 1904, and died September 24th, 1991. His genre was rhyming verse, and he's mainly known for his children's book, The Cat in the Hat. Of course, we must mention The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, The Lorax, Green Eggs and Ham, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. I could go on and on. His list of achievements is incredible. How did Dr. Seuss become one of the most renowned children's authors in history? Believe it or not, it started with a challenge. He was tasked to write a book that children couldn't put down from a limited word list. On that list, he saw the words cat and hat. The rest, as they say, is history. Assignment number 1. Write a rhyming word list about a child's bedroom at night. Use one-syllable words such as door, floor, bed, head, night, light. Think of as many as you can. Be creative with it. Once you have your list, introduce a character. The book uses the example of a blue mouse in the house. Write a verse with couplet lines. The lines should have 8 or 9 syllables. Here's an example of what you see in the book. The blue mouse in the house then said, as the small child sat up in bed, "Watch me run up the squeaky door, and watch me slide on the wooden floor." The sillier, the better. Come up with a surprise ending. Take your time with this exercise and see what you can create. Once you've completed your own creation, Send it to me. I'd love to see them. In fact, we might even highlight it on a future Textercise show. Just send it to my email address, lmzajac@gmail.com, and put the word Suess in the subject line. The reason that I've suggested these exercises is because I myself did them and I had a lot of fun with them and I learned a lot of very helpful tools, especially when it comes to creative writing. This is the result of my experiment with the Dr. Seuss Lesson 1. I chose to write a poem called The Blue Mouse, and here is the results. As Talia laid down her head, she heard a noise beneath the bed. Afraid to look, what could it be? Is there a monster after me? I'm sure it's all within my head, this thing I fear beneath my bed. So I'll be brave and look to see if something's there that frightens me. You won't believe it, but it's true. She found a mouse there, colored blue. The tiny creature shook in fear. Then his eyes began to tear. He did not know what she would do. What would she think of a mouse that's blue? The girl then said, "Please don't fear. There's no one that will harm you here." That's when the mouse jumped on the bed. Looking at the girl, he said, "I hope you like the color blue. It may come as a shock to you. Mice are often brown or white. A blue one just might cause you fright. Oh, little mouse, I only dread not knowing what's beneath my bed. When I saw that you were there, my fear began to disappear. It doesn't matter that you're blue. It only matters that you're you." The mouse and girl began to play. Both had lots of fun that day. Now friends forever through and through. A little girl and a mouse that's blue. I really enjoyed doing this exercise in the book. It got me back into poetry, something that I hadn't challenged myself with for a very long time, and I had fun with it. I know that it's not perfect, but I liked it. In fact, I even did some illustrations to go along with the poem, and somewhere down the road, I think I'm going to include it in one of my books. What did you think of the exercise? Did you find it easy? Did you find it hard? I'd love to hear some feedback from you. Congratulations! You've now completed Lesson 1 of Textercise. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Doesn't your brain feel renewed and just ready to write that next big story? I bet it does. And for your information, Textercise will be a regular segment on the Speech Diaries. We'll offer it once a month, and we'll have a combination of different authors to draw some inspiration from, and we'll have a lot more exercises for your brain. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time on the Speech Diaries.